What's up, guys? It's Lost Griff back with another tier list. Today I'm going to be starting this from the beginning because unfortunately the last tier list I used doesn't have, like, on tier maker, it doesn't have Black Adam in it, so I can't use like the tier list I already made. So I'm just going to go through each character, rank where I think they are. And then, of course, at the ending, I will show you guys if I think I have anything about my mind changed and if I think there's specific characters that are actually better than I'm thinking. Now, I just want to preface this pretty clearly. I'm a pretty top-level player. I'm currently a top 100 Finn player, 2,200 MMR or so, I believe, which doesn't make me top of the top, but it makes me, I would consider, pretty good. I think I'm ranked about 1,300 global on the leaderboards, so, again, as a Finn player and as a non-biased Finn player, I will try to give my best, credibility and insight on who I think is the best. And also, want to also clear this up that this is for 1v1s. If you want a 2v2 tier list, I might make one this patch. I just don't really play that much 2v2s, unfortunately, mostly because of connection, to be honest. So, here we go. Alright, so top 8, the first character I'm going to put in here is Batman. I don't know, I think I would consider him actually a top 3, top 4 character. He's still really good. His battering is still insane. Fair, and Fair 2 now being usable online is just actually crazy. His neutral is just so strong. He's just a god on ledge because he can down special whenever you're out of resources, or he can down air. So he's just one of the best characters on ledge, and he just has so many things that are just amazing about him. I think he's a really good character. There's really nothing really else to say about it. Bugs is the next character coming up. I don't think he's really that good anymore. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I actually think he wasn't as strong. Even last patch before his loop got removed, I still thought he was a really underwhelming character. I consistently saw myself beating 2,500 MMR Bugs players who were struggling to keep their rank because, like, I just feel like this character just doesn't really have it anymore, man. Like, you kind of have up air, you have some really good aerials, you have a down special, which I think is an underutilized tool in 1v1s, but like, that's kind of it, I never really thought this character had enough to kind of compete with who I think is in the top 8, and so him getting nerfed again is pretty crazy to me. I'm really considering between putting her in good contenders or top 8 for now. I'm gonna put her in top 8 because I do think she could be on the latter end of it. She's a really good character, kind of like Batman, really fast paced, runs you down, but the main thing that kind of keeps Wonder Woman back is always her kill power. Obviously she has her cheesy up special kills, like obviously she has some pretty nice like lasso confirms and stuff, but like overall it'll never stop the fact that like her kill power is just not up to par with other characters who can kind of just throw out their kill confirms and consistently get success with it. So yeah, I don't know. I think Wonder Woman's really good. I just really think the main thing lacking on her kit is kill power, and until she gets that, I think she's going to be perfectly fine being a high tier 1v1s character. You guys know me. Obviously, in a perfect world, I'd be placing Finn in the F tier as I usually say, but it's a video. People aren't going to know that I'm memeing, so I'll put Finn where I think he is. I think he's better than Wonder Woman. I don't know where I put him in the top 8. We'll have to see after I finish this tier list, but I don't know. I think that I think this character's really good. I think he has way too many options right now. I think there's way too much cheese in his kit. His nair shouldn't hit under him. His downlight should actually work, or they should rework the move because I think it's a really cheesy and toxic move, but maybe that's just me. His backpack doesn't work, unfortunately, but it's a work in progress. Hopefully they'll get it fixed next patch. I think gem is the main thing that makes him too good. If they were to nerf anything about him, I would nerf his gem and I would fix his hitboxes, and he'll be in a perfectly fine state and be a much more honest character. On paper, a character like Finn shouldn't really be that dishonest, but he kind of is because his downlight, and also just his 0 to nuts and shit. Just a really safe character right now, man. I don't know. I don't really think this character has many weaknesses, to be honest. Alright, so I think Garnet's actually an A tier character. Don't listen to other people who tell you she's not. She's actually pretty fucking good. I think after this patch that made Sing better, I think she's kind of crazy. I've played some pretty high tier Garnets recently, and the fact that they can consistently deal like 30% to you in a combo. His jab kills at like 70 with bad DI. She has some really good kill confirms with, I forget the move that she uses the kill confirm with, but she can use her up special off cooldown, and it kills super early. It's insane. This character is really slept on. If you've been wanting to play Garnet and wanted to try her, I think this is your time to do it. In fact, I'd be surprised if there aren't at least a few more buffs coming. Overall, she's in a good spot. I don't really think she's worth complaining about in terms of power anymore. Harley's also in the top 8. I'm really at a rock and a hard place between if I think she's better than Finn or not. I think these two are both in a similar boats. Both really strong characters. Both have a lot of versatility. The only thing that really makes Finn a little bit better in my opinion is just his matchup spread because of how good his gem is. I consistently think that gem is the reason why he wins so many matchups, so I can't really say that Harley would be better because she does have her losing matchups and she doesn't really have a button that makes her get at a disadvantage instantly. Iron Giant is just not good anymore. I would put him in between these two is because his loop got removed and his stupid 0 to death got removed where you grab down air, down special, or whatever it is. You guys know what I'm talking about. As soon as that got removed, I just knew he wasn't going to be any good. It was the only thing holding him together. I don't really think there's going to be many Iron Giants that played him for the cheese anymore. Because there's many like top 50 Iron Giants who would literally just sit there, grab down air, down special, and that's how they got their MMR. Anyway, I just hope this character like actually gets some more honest gameplay. I understand he's supposed to be cheesy, but like, I don't know. I just want people to actually play him like not just a gimmick character anymore, you know? Alright, Black Adam. See, he's new, so take this with a grain of salt, guys. I also think he's kind of in the same boat as Bugs. This character's just not that good. I think he might be worse than Bugs. He just has nothing crazy about him. He's too big of a hitbox for just so little reward. His combos game isn't that crazy. His neutral game isn't that crazy. A lot of his moves are kind of bad, like neutral attack, for example, just not that great. Too much of a read-based move. He just doesn't have many bread and butter combos. Not really that crazy of a character. Right, here comes Jake. I also think he's a top 5 character. He's really good. I think he has a lot of really solid cheese right now. I'm surprised they didn't nerf the bite cheese, where you go off ledge, shoot them off the ledge, or shoot them off like the little corner of the ledge and then forward air. And that's how a lot of people who I've run into in the ladder abuse their Jake to like top like 100, top 200 is literally just using that strategy. I don't know. I think the character needs to get a full rework. I think Jake is a great character. I like that he's a read-based character. But I just think the fact that you have no control over like certain things against him is just really frustrating. And I think the character just really needs a rework. Like a full kit rework, like changing some of his moves to make them better, changing some of his moves to make them worse, just completely reworking the character. Because like I'm cool with the read-based slow character, but like he's just not intuitive to play or play against right now, in my opinion. Right, LeBron is definitely up there for good contenders. Definitely a really good character. I think that he does a lot right now that makes him really solid. I think his loop is really good. I don't know if his loop is still in the game. I'm actually a little bit misknowledged on LeBron, but the main thing that makes LeBron so solid, in my opinion, is definitely his matchup on Finn. I think that's why he's such a good contender, is because he's consistently held a winning matchup over Finn, who is in the top tier, obviously, as well as a few other top tier characters, and that just makes him so strong. Anybody who's interested in LeBron as a character, highly recommend you pick him up because I actually do think he has some juice, and I just think he's a really, good character on paper, honestly. All right, I'm gonna say Morty is like around here. This character's combo game is just comparable to no other in this game right now. He's so solid, man. Like he genuinely has so much potential, and finally people are starting to realize that. I think him having no disadvantage is one thing, but him having a constant combo extender is actually just crazy. Like having laser. He has fair, which is a really good neutral tool. He has jab, which is probably I'd actually argue it's the best jab in the game, or at least top 3. He just has so many good. It's funny because his whole thing is having a kit that's like a mage while being a bruiser, but I actually think he's more of a bruiser now. A little bit. I think he's kind of like 50-50 now because his jab is just so good. You can kind of just run at people with aerials and your jab, and it kind of just works because of how solid he is. So, really good character in my opinion. Rick is another character I consider to be a good contender. I don't think people have given him enough time and optimized him enough. I think people kind of gave up on him for some reason. But I do think this character is crazy. He's still terrifying to be off stage against. He still has great recovery. He still has like really good projectiles and a lot of tools. I just kind of wish more people tried to like learn this character because he does have a lot of potential. He does have a lot of potential. He's really good, man. If you want to play Rick, I highly recommend you pick him up. Shaggy's also a character I consider to be a top 8, probably around where Harley and Finn are. This character, after playing him and making him my secondary, I've definitely kind of accepted the fact that he's insanely good. He kind of just has it, you know what I mean? He has all these different tools. He has super good aerials, super good combo game, a slow for his charge, like you can literally just down light slow and then go for a free charge and then have an insane amount of pressure. He's super fast. He's pretty heavy, so he dies later He has a really good matchup spread. His really only issues is projectiles, because he doesn't really deal with projectiles very well, which is the only thing that like consistently, like I feel like if he was able to deal with projectiles, he would be like right here, like right here easily, but he can't. Therefore, he has a few losing matchups, and that's why I don't think he's like, you know, much higher than this. All right, Stripe I still think is pretty good. I just don't know if I consider him a good contender or top 8. I actually think I would argue for a good contender at this point. His moves are a little bit weaker. Attack Decay really messed with his forward air. Like, he can't use his forward air as much anymore. He really has to use his different aerials, which are, you know, known for not being that good. I really do think this patch changed him in a good way. I think he was a little bit too strong, honestly. So I'm kind of glad he got knocked down a lot. And I think a character so easy shouldn't be so strong, you know what I mean? On second thought, maybe she would be better up here. I don't really think it's fair to say she's not viable, because I do still think she has a lot of juice, and I still think she's really good in some ways. And I mean, there's still people at the top with Velma still making her viable. So considering there's still so many 2v2 Velma players who have hopped in 1v1s and still gotten good ranks with her, I think it's pretty unfair to say she's like not good. I think she still is viable. Right, at the top of good contenders, I think lies Rain Dog. His character is historically been like just brought to its absolute limits by the players that play him. People have really wanted to maximize the ever-living hell out of Rain Dog's potential, and I'm kind of glad they have. Overall, he's really strong. He is just insanely good at dealing damage. His only issue, and this will always be his only issue, is literally the fact that he can't kill for shit. He basically has no kill confirms besides down air, and that makes him really struggle to compete with these top 8 picks because they all have solid kill confirms while he struggles to get any. Arya, I think, is also deserving to be in the top 8, and while I'm at it, I'm going to move Morty down. I think Arya is a really good character. I think that she's probably arguably better than Finn and Harley, but that's totally up to you if you want to argue that. I don't really think Arya has much of any losing matchups, considering her combo game is just absolutely disgusting. And even though she's not as good in 2s anymore, I still think she's definitely a top 8 1s character, no questions asked. Steven's another character people have continuously downplayed for a long time. I think this character is really good. I think he's on par with like Morty maybe. Even though he doesn't have the most insane combo game, his neutral tools are really good. He has some great ways to keep people out. He can heal. He has great aerials. I mean, he's pretty decent on the ground. He's just a good character. I don't think he's anywhere near top 8. I think he's a few buffs away from that. But I still think, you know, between this division between top 8 and good contenders, he's definitely sitting at the top of it. Right, and then here comes my other top 8 character. I think Superman is easily one of the best characters in the game. I know a lot of people will disagree with me on this. I understand that, but Superman is just so insane. After playing against some of the top Superman players, a lot of people love to argue the fact that, Superman's only good because of the way this player plays them, without realizing the fact that if a certain player can make a certain character unstoppable, then what's the point? Like, I just don't understand how people can consistently make the argument that a certain character is only good at the tippity top, when that's literally the situation with Gizmo. That's literally the situation with characters like Morty. That's literally the situation with characters like Steven and LeBron. Like, just because a character's only good at the tippity top doesn't make them an S-tier character. That's what I think with Superman. People have optimized them to a ridiculous amount. For online especially, players like Anthos, players like Palaloop, just literally just an oopsier, literally just make this character look so goddamn good. And I would be lying if I said that I don't think he's top 8. That is the only character I consider not viable in the meta, and the reason why is because he's only good online if you get cheese. I just don't think he is a good kit. I'm sorry guys, I really don't think he is a good kit. Like, he has such a clunky moveset that's just so, I don't know. It just doesn't compete with anybody up here. It just doesn't. I don't know. This kit, I don't know if I'm a Taz hater or whatever. I just don't think he's very good. I think this character really also would probably need a full kit rework as well, kind of similar to Jake. I just don't think he's a well-designed character. I don't think his kit works together very well, and I don't think he's fun to play for pretty much most of the player base. Tom and Jerry is another character who in this current meta is constantly slept on. I think that Tom and Jerry is super good right now. I'm struggling between these top 5 up here, because these top 5 up here can easily hit the top. The only problem is that assassins just dominate, ones. They're so close because zoners and people who have that as a part of their kit are really solid. I just don't think that like they can compete with these top 8 right now. And I think these 5 are still super viable, and you can totally play them if that's your play style. But remember that I mean 1v1 is going to be home of the assassins and speedsters and rushdowns. That's just kind of how it is. So it's hard to place these top 5 up here whenever I know that if they're being ran down by a Batman, if they're being ran down by a Finn, like what are they going to really do? You know what I mean? Only issue and the only stipulation between this is the fact that LeBron can beat some of these rushdowns, which is why I think he's probably the best one in this tier. All right, Gizmo I also think is in this same area. I think his camping potential is just so goddamn good. I think overall people have kind of shown how insane Gizmo can be. After playing Finn versus a top 10 Gizmo, I've kind of realized like if you play a campy Gizmo, you're extremely hard to play against. I've also played some online Gizmos that have brawled the ever-living shit out of me and made me question if Gizmo really had a combo game or not. His hitbox also gives him a huge advantage. He's super slippery. His car is so fucking good. It's actually crazy that move is so good. I don't know, this character is another one kind of like Superman, kind of like Tom and Jerry, kind of like Morty, where you don't really see how good he is until you get to like the top 10, top 20 Gizmos even. And even then, like just until you reach the tippity top of this character, you don't really know how good he can actually be. And at the tippity top, I think this character is insane. And I think that there's a reason people who have been kind of like loyal to Gizmo are seeing such good results. I just want to reiterate that a lot of this is ordered. I don't think anybody I think Good Contenders is a little bit more loosely ordered. I think all of these characters are really solid and can compete with top 8, and if you lose as a top 8 character to one of these characters, there's no shame in it. I mean, they're still really good. These 4 could use a small buff, are definitely not really super viable anymore, but you can pick them and you can still beat people above them. It just takes a lot more effort. And then Taz, I just don't think is viable right now. Sure, you can play him, and I think he's a B+ character, which means like, you know, he's not that far away from like A, but like, you know, I just don't think he's that crazy. I just don't think there's anything special about him anymore. All right, guys, that's my tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing my opinions on it. If you guys want more videos like this, make sure you drop a sub. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, see you guys next time.